Hello and welcome to the Clever Channel. I'm Jason, your host. And so let's talk about future plans. Future plans. I'm still on goal to still on target to later in the year. I will have access to some money, and that money will go towards paying off a few debts, starting to plan towards the trip next year, and to do a complete refresh of my technology. And that's been the big focus. I've started doing a lot of research because I need to, whatever I create, whatever I do, I need to make sure that it's going to be useful and function. And the main ideas behind this was it's got to be power efficient. It's got to not cost too much electricity. It's got power per watt's got to be good. It's got to be able to do Plex. It's got to be able to do storage. It's got to be able to do everything. Gaming, VR. Now, this refresh could take many different ways, and I'm still looking at all the options, and by the time I can do it, which will be near the end of the year, new items might have come out. So, there's many different ways they can go. Like, for example, looked at the idea of getting a more advanced version of the PowerEdge Dell server downstairs. After all, the PowerEdge server downstairs worked, functioned, it did NAS, Plex, I could connect to it for VR. It had a 36 terabyte Steam directory that I could play through using Parsec. It worked. But it had massive limitations, only being PCI Express Gen 3, inefficient CPU. It was idling at about 320 to 340 watts, which is way too high. And so the idea of I could put together and invest in a more powerful, a more modern, more efficient, an epic AMD CPU version. But they're very expensive. I could afford it, but it would be still quite high in the power usage and the noise. You see, it's in the kitchen, and it never gets moved from the kitchen because it's too loud to have in here. It really is. Even with the fans under control, it is too loud. And I know the fans are slightly better in a 2U case set up with an Epic. But still, I decided after much transition and creation and looking through all the different ones that really I don't need that kind of muscle. And while it was a wonderful thing, I'll be glad when that's going to BritMonkey, the one downstairs is. Because I want a computer that is the computer in this room. So I started looking at decentralization. Decentralization is when you have different items doing different parts of the job. Like you can have one little system that's a NAS. You can set up a little computer as a Plex server. You can have a separate computer for VR and a separate computer for gaming. Completely decentralization. So I could have done that as well, but that is also too many computers, too much. So I came back to the idea of a server, a central computer, a centralized system, but not one like a turnkey thing, not a proprietary Dell system or something like that, because it's just too much. So instead, I look at the prevailing technology, and the idea is two things, two items. One portable, one non-portable. The non-portable will be a tower. It will just sit somewhere in this room. It could sit down there in that corner. In the coolest room of the house, and the room that during the winter that heat will help a lot. Modular and movable, that I can move it down into the kitchen during the summer, though it doesn't overheat this room. So it can be moved. It's just a tower computer case with a good quality motherboard, a good quality massive core CPU that idles at a good temperature, at a good speed. It needs to have power. But at the same time as having the muscle and the power, it needs to be able to idle when it's not being used. When it's just doing Plex, when it's just doing that stuff, when it's sitting idle during the night, it needs to be completely silent, and it can just tick over at like 75 to 100 watts, which is very possible. So, looking at it all, that seems like it might be what we'll do. It will replace my main PC fully. This will become a packed away or in the guest bedroom set up in there connected to that TV, just in case anybody needs a computer when they come to stay. The dual system, one thing, the portable side will be a custom laptop. Sadly, not a framework laptop. I love the look of them in that, but I'm looking at more one from PC Specialist, which will carry 16 terabytes in two 8 terabyte M2s. It will be able to do everything that the main system can do. It will be the system I use in the backyard. It will be the system I spend my time with when I go to America. It will be it will be a clone of my main system, of everything that it does. All of this is prevalent on an also new backup storage system, which will consist of three 22 terabyte external drives. And what will happen is every month I will connect one of those 22 terabyte drives to my main system or to the laptop, transfer all the stuff off, all the stuff that isn't on there, do an incremental backup type thing. Once it's on there, gets removed and gets placed in my EMP container down here, the EMP proof container, inside a bag that is also a Faraday and also a fire resistant container. And the other one will be kept elsewhere, and the third one will always be live and being used. And we'll rotate them, so I've always got the backup. So yeah, this is what I'm probably building towards by the end of the year. But this is all over the next 5 months, 4 months actually. I will be reimagining, recreating, doing theory craft with ChatGPT, working through it with my friends, because this system is basically going to replace most of the systems in the house, and it is always going to have a backup So that's that side of my brain is working on that, and that's giving me something to focus on. Remember, computers are extremely important to me. They're not a hobby. They've got to be reliable. I've got to be able to trust them. I've got to be able to know that when I turn them on, they will just work. That's why I'm still using the Valve Index. Because even though there's better stuff out there, from a hardware point of view, there's nothing I would trust. So yeah, this is my brain on just planning things out. So bye-bye for now.